Today's video is sponsored by Roman. Now, erectile dysfunction could be a sensitive topic for a lot of guys, especially if it affects you. If it doesn't, that's great, right? But as you get older, things that you may start coming up with excuses for might actually be a little bit more serious than you care to admit. Well, that's where Roman can come in and help you out. Erectile dysfunction is more common than you think. 52% of men over 40 experience erectile dysfunction at some point. Even worse, about 75% of those guys don't seek treatment. That's why Roman has made it easy to chat with a doctor online. With Roman, you get medical care for ED, if appropriate, from the comfort and privacy of your own home. You can handle everything online in a convenient, discreet manner. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/SSR and complete an online visit. If your doctor decides treatment would be appropriate, they can prescribe genuine medication that can be delivered in discreet packaging right to your door with free 2-day shipping. Erectile dysfunction can be tough to tackle, but it's really important to get checked out. With Roman, it's easy to connect with a doctor. So visit GetRoman.com/SSR. If approved, you'll save $15 off your first order of ED treatment. That's GetRoman.com/SSR. There's a link right below in the description, GetRoman.com/SSR. All right, so here we still have the Corvette, still has the hood smashed in. Turns out it's not very easy to get a hood for these cars yet. We hit it with a little touch-up paint, and to answer your question, would a customer rather have a damaged C8 or no C8? The answer has been resoundingly, I'll take it and not use the hood. Now, there's a little twist in this, in that it turns out that there may be a bigger problem at play here. There may be an issue that the NTSB is looking into, the National Traffic Safety Board. I think so, transit, something like that. But they're looking into, there's been other complaints of hoods flopping up on the Corvette. Now, the first guy said the hood flopped up. We're like, all right, you probably did something wrong, right? Next guy came along, ghosted us. He just left the car here. And we just assumed that he stood on it because I wasn't aware that there could have been some underlying problem. There may not be. I don't know. But there may be an answer to this in that there is a potential issue. There was a video that I saw online, and there was an article about it. Now, Chevy is essentially, I think, denied any issues thus far, but this video is pretty telling. Check this out. So yeah, the guy was just driving along. Now, there's a lot of unknowns there. Did he hit the button? Did he forget to close it? It doesn't have the traditional latch system, I think, of a slide over mechanical lock to open it up. So if this is open or not closed all the way and air gets in it, guess what? Whoopsh. Now, in my brain, that would both tweak the crap out of these, unless there's some, I guess there's some rubber under there to prevent, there's nothing really hard. All you're doing is sort of bending the hinges. But I was expecting, if I ever thought a hood would go up, right? I think it's taking out a windshield. I don't see it as just bending that. And we're going to see. This is getting interesting because the insurance is paying for this. And if it is something that turns out to be a defect, I'll reach out to the insurance company afterwards and say, look, the problem is I don't know. We couldn't get a statement from this client because they legitimately just ghosted us. They dropped the car, like, oh, I'm going to get gas. I'll be right back. And they showed up after hours. We showed up. They were gone. Like, tried calling them, nothing, no response, no anything. And we're like, all right, well, now I don't even have a story as to what it may be. His insurance is taking care of it because we verify that in advance. But, I mean, maybe he gave them a story. But that's, I mean, it's not even a crazy repair. But it is something that may be an issue for other people that have C8s. And I had a couple of people actually send me some articles. There's one or two of them about this issue right now, or the potential issue that people have had hoods fly up. There's a lot of these out there. There's a lot of people putting miles on them. The question as if there's an issue would really come down to, like, maybe it's just if you push the button, you forget to close it all the way, or maybe the actuator's bad and it opens up by, like, there's an accidental spike in electricity and it causes it to pop open automatically. I don't know, and that's to find out. There could be a faulty actual latch in here. the quickest way to do it, and you'll have the light in the dash, remember, like hood open or something like that, which people may just be ignoring, like, oh, I forgot to close the hood. Like you get that when your door is open or something like that. Obviously the doors, the wind goes that way, so it'll never flop open, but same sort of thought. So we'll see what happens. We've got some time. It would be wild if that was actually a thing, and it would be unfortunate, but it's not completely, I don't want to say unexpected, but it's not like, wow, what a crappy product that had that hood problem. It's something that they're like, oh, we never experienced that, or we didn't experience it more than once, so there was never an actual fix. You see that in the airline industry and everything. There's little things that they're like, who knew that the casting on that disc would be bad, and we're going to have to redo it on every plane that's out there. So that's just something to keep an eye on. The top seems to be the only real problem I've had so far with people damaging the top, taking it on and off. That will be solved when I get my convertibles. I just got the call that my convertible is pushed back a little bit, so it's going to be a 2021, which is good because I'll get it in the spring, so I'm not going to have it in like September, October. I'll get it in like January, February, March, somewhere in there. And then that'll probably be a direct replacement for this. And then I've got my C8 Z06 on order, and then that'll sort of run in conjunction with the convertible. But I got to get this fixed. I mean, this is just all user error. You got this mark here. So that's 1, 2, 3 on the other side. This is all hood related. So if we can write all this off as hood related, you just got this damage here, which is pretty terrible. I mean, what a failure of taking the top off that is. That was the same guy who did that, which is why I just figured people were climbing on the car. But you know what? In 6,500 miles, not one scraped wheel, and surprisingly enough, look at this. This car has seen no paint. See, that's all reflection. Look at that. Not even a scratch on the front bumper. And like even right here, like was all the furthest point out. Not even a scratch in 6,500 miles. Each wheel is perfect. None of the wheels have been refinished. I mean, that's really telling that like the most common damage I have is curbed wheels, and this car has not had one curbed wheel or one scratch bumper. Those are the two most common things. In 6,500 miles, this was sort of the only car to go out like consistently throughout the coronavirus stuff. And let's see how the interior is holding up. I mean, it looks pretty new to me. Wear surfaces, touch surfaces, and unfortunately these are seeing more chemicals on the touch surfaces than you normally would because it's getting the disinfecting and cleaning, and everybody's putting Purell on their hands and touching the steering wheels. Let's see the seat bolster. Just, what is that? It's not even, I don't even think that's, this is just people rolling into the car. But I say we're doing pretty well so far. So stay tuned. We will see what happens with the entire investigation as to whether there's an issue or not with the C8 hood. Let me know your comments, thoughts in the description, and I will get this taken care of and keep this thing, this Stingray, chugging along. See ya. So you guys are familiar with my other company, Adventure Drives, right? Well, this year we've got 2 trips coming up. One which is starting in Seattle and ending in Jackson Hole in July. That's going up through the Canadian Rockies, coming down through Banff, Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and Grand Teton National Park. It's going to be phenomenal. Also, we're going to be going to Scotland in October. We're going to be doing Scotch distilleries, playing golf at St. Andrews if you want to do that, walking around, seeing lakes, waterfalls, driving the North Coast. It's going to be an amazing trip. Prices start as low as $2,500 per person for the shorter trip in Scotland, about double that for the longer trip in July. If you're interested in going, check out the link in the description.